If you're unsure of which book to publish on Amazon KDP, whether that's low, medium, or long form content, in this video, I'm going to go through the benefits and the drawbacks of each one and which one you should publish depending on your situation. Now, guys, I've been in the Amazon KDP scene for over 7 years, and so I've published all types of books, and so I know the approach to each one. And basically, I'll go through, depending on your situation, which one should you publish. Now, basically, it really depends on your situation at first. What's easier for you? What is your budget? And I'm also assuming in this video that you're not using AI so much, or you're using little amounts of artificial intelligence inside these books as well. So keep that in mind. Now, in terms of just the quick breakdown of it all, guys, this is kind of how it looks like, and this is what I'm talking about when I talk about low content, medium content, and long form content books. For the low content, overall, they're very easy, quick, and cheap to make, and they do really well during Q4 as well. One thing that to note is the competitors have low prices, which usually means less profits in your pocket, something to consider. And then the examples that you'll be looking at in terms of these types of books is your coloring, your dot to dot, your mazes, your workbooks. Basically, books that have very minimal amount of words and are mainly just illustrations and images, things like that. Now, for your medium content, this is what I am usually doing. There's two levels to medium content, in my opinion. You've got your super cheap and easy medium content books, and you've got your expensive, difficult to make medium content books. Both of these do very well during Q4 in terms of the medium content books, and I like them a lot. I just like the general setup, and that's what I publish. Now, in terms of your competitors, they have more of a medium level price range, which is, more average profits, your normal type profit ranges that you're going to see. And then in terms of the examples for medium content, for the easier type of medium content, you're looking at your trivia, your jokes, your riddles books, not a heap of words, and some sprinkled in illustrations and whatnot to, entertain the reader. And then you've got your hard medium content books, which are generally more difficult topics to make, topics that you probably have no idea about. And, you look at the keyword and you go, nah, I'm not going to get into that. It's too difficult. So things like how to sew, learning the guitar, things like that. Now, with your long form content, this is going to be more expensive because of the word count. It usually means that you need 30,000 words for the audio book. These books are optimized for Audible, and so they work very well with both markets. So if you are in the countries that I will go through in a sec, if you can publish on audible.com, you definitely should be going down this path. Now, in terms of the prices for long form content books inside Amazon, they're usually and generally higher, which means higher profit margins. This is a pro when it comes to these types of books. In terms of your examples you're looking at, it's basically content that doesn't need images or illustrations. It can be a very solid quality book if it's just writing. You're looking at mainly your personal development type books where you've got, memory improvement, toxic relationships, dark psychology, these types of keywords that people get into. That's what you're looking at when it comes to long form content. Obviously, there's a million ideas, but you get the point. So that's kind of just the rundown of each one. In terms of low content specifically, if you are low on funds, I would go down this path. AI can help you massively. Softwares like BookBulk can also help as well. And, some of this stuff you can just learn yourself through some training, or you can pay a minimal amount through Upwork to hire illustrators to be able to help you in this field. The problem with low content, the one reason that I don't like it is the fact that getting reviews can be a pain because the Kindle version usually gets blocked for low content books, meaning you cannot get verified reviews on your Kindle and they need to buy the paperback. Usually what we do is we send out our book for free, or for a low price on Kindle. We get someone to buy it or download the book, and you get your verified reviews through that way. However, you're not going to have a Kindle book because these books usually get blocked and denied from, digital versions. Therefore, to get a verified review, someone has to buy your paperback, which is usually a higher price. Now, there is one way around this, and it is through a site called BookBite, and they set it up in a way where the person actually buys your paperback. I've never tried it before. However, you can give it a shot and see how you go. But basically, you're looking at, when you're getting reviews on your books, they're all going to be unverified. So you just have to accept that. Maybe some of them get taken down. Not a massive deal, but a pain. Now, a lot of people are publishing in this niche because, there's a lot of guys out there that don't have a big budget, and they want to, and they usually start on this path. So there's a lot of books that are getting shotgunned in this market. However, I still think there's a lot of potential if you do it properly. One thing I would say, if you're going to go down this path and you actually want to succeed quick, I would get super specific with your keyword. For example, don't just make a coloring book for girls, make a coloring book that's for about unicorns that is also for girls that are within the age range of 4 to 8. Get really specific with the audience. And then I would also follow trends with these books. Ideally, you want to be going for evergreen content that's going to be lasting profits throughout the year. However, this can be a good play as well. They're easy to make and whatnot. So getting into trends like, Christmas related books or Easter related books, those are the two biggest trends. Jumping on that for low content books is a good idea as well. Your budget range for this is, anywhere between $100 to $400. Obviously, this varies, just depends on what you're publishing, but that's kind of what you're looking at. Now, with medium content, this is my personal favorite. There are easy and hard medium content books, as I said. Now, most stay away from the difficult keywords to create books on this, and this is where I win personally. Those difficult niches and keywords I was talking about, a lot of people look at that and go, no way, I'm not going to bother, which is fair enough. However, I publish in these books. Now, AI can help you a lot for the books in terms of the investment. It can lower this investment. However, in terms of hard and difficult books to make, usually you need professionals to help you out. And this can create more of an investment on your end. There's been times where for the medium content books I've created, I've invested $1,000 just to create a medium content book. And this isn't including ads. So keep that in mind. If you are going to go down the hard, difficult medium content path, be willing to invest more even than what people are investing on these long form books. The other reason I like the medium content books is because they do good during the year, but they also go crazy during Q4 as well. So it's kind of just the best of both worlds. And then your budget range just depends. If you're on the easier side of things and you're making a jokes book or a trivia book or something like that, it's going to be pretty cheap. A lot of that you can kind of just do yourself or hire cheaply to outsource. You'd be looking around $300 to $1,000 depending on how difficult the project is. With your long form content, if you're allowed to publish on audible.com, I believe you should be more heavily focused down this path, mainly because you can find some good some long form books that are really good on Amazon and they're really good on Audible. And I'd be basically weighing those up and finding a keyword that is good on both so you can publish. You can't publish on audible.com unless you're in the 5 countries. I believe it's United States, Canada, the UK and Ireland, something like that. If you're outside of those, you can't, unfortunately, so it is what it is. Audible is huge, and so getting your books to 30,000 words is important. The only reason people do long form content books and specifically get them to 30,000 words is so they can reach the 3-hour mark. Now, if you're outside of the countries that I just spoke about and you can't publish on Audible, but you still want to create long form books and put them on Amazon, that's completely fine. You can go ahead and do that. Just remember, you don't need to make the book 30,000 words. You can be 15,000, 20,000. That is completely okay. They only get to the 30,000 word mark to get to the 3-hour duration on Audible, which increases their profit margins. So if you don't know that already, that's why. Long form content could still be a great opportunity just on Amazon itself if you can't publish on audible.com. A lot of money to be made. Prices are higher, as I said. Still good choice. Now, which should you pick? Honestly, it really depends. I don't think it matters too much, but if you do have a low budget, low content and easy medium content books are going to be your best bet. Obviously, they're cheaper to make and they're quick to make. So you can get them out. And this is where I would start. Start going for the trends, get specific with your keywords and go down that path. If you have more of a higher budget and you're willing to actually invest money, I would go for hard medium content books, as I said, like the difficult keywords inside the medium content book scene. And then I'd also publish in the long form content books as well. These books are going to be more time consuming to make, but you're going to have increased amount of profits. And then also there's less competition, in my opinion, compared to like your low content books. Now, overall, as I said, it doesn't really matter which you publish in. All can be super profitable. It just depends on how much you're willing to invest and how good you are or your team is at creating the projects. Eventually, you're going to build up a team of people that you're pretty confident in. You might just find that, the books for the lower content are easier or whatever it is that your situation is. Personally, in the beginning, I used to do a lot of long form content books, but I just didn't enjoy it that much. It was in these topics that I didn't care about at all. There was a lot of words that I had to go through and read and check these types of things. And, I hate reading personally. And when I'm trying to read a book with a lot of words, super boring, not my thing. I prefer like the medium content books. It's just an easier way to go about it. And I know that I can deliver quality. So that's why I picked that. So, just depends on your personal preference. You can also just go for all of them. Some of these niches actually fit all because, you can do your long forms, your medium contents. Maybe your audience needs a workbook, so you go do some low content. Or maybe, you're waiting on your long form books to be written, but, you've got time on your hands. Like, why not just make a low content book that's maybe for a trend during Christmas? These types of things. It's not a big deal. You can do whatever you want. Now, one thing I'll say with that though is don't go too crazy because generally speaking, less is more in this business. You can really if you get your hands full, you end up spreading yourself thin and none of these books are going to succeed. Remember to, no matter what, for these books, do a solid launch and invest in ads early to boost the ranking. Because you can put out all these books in the world, but if you don't take it 100% seriously, you have a good cover, you have a good book, you've done everything correctly, and then, you go half-assed with the ads during the launch, or you don't do like a proper launch and get a solid amount of reviews, you're just going to do all this hard work for nothing. So, my advice is, and this is honestly one thing I've realized recently inside my own business is, I think it's honestly better to just do like maximum one book per month. And you actually end up getting better results that way, in my opinion, because you take things more seriously. Things are a lot more clear and it's not messy. Once you're dealing with like 3-4 books at the same time, you get lazy with certain things. You just don't do it correctly to be able to optimize it fully to maximize your profits inside the business. So that's kind of my rundown of, what I do, guys, and what I think about each one. Take what you want from this and make your own decision. In the beginning, maybe test them all, see how you feel, and then eventually pick a brand and go down that path. But apart from that, that's everything I wanted to say. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.